Paul Heyman breaks up with Roman Reigns, why Seth Rollins shouldn't win the WWE Elimination Chamber match, Tony Khan is trying to be Vince McMahon, Damian Priest is forming a huge new team before Elimination Chamber, a former WWE star begs Triple H to bring him back, WWE wanted to make a star the next Hulk Hogan, Jey Uso handing over his WrestleMania 41 spot, Roman Reigns receives a message from Paul Heyman amid his absence, mistakes Triple H shouldn't make with Roman Reigns upon his return, Paul Heyman breaks up with Roman Reigns. Let's dive right in. Why Seth Rollins shouldn't win the 2025 Men's Elimination Chamber match. Seth Rollins will have high hopes walking into the WWE Elimination Chamber match this Saturday. He is one of the most experienced men in the company who has entered the hellacious structure before. The Visionary will be among the men who are favorites to win the contest. He has a history with Cody Rhodes, and it would make sense for him to go up against the American Nightmare for the undisputed WWE Championship. Seth Rollins is a favorite to win, given his experience and history with the champion. However, there are several compelling reasons why he should come up short. Reason number 1, John Cena deserves the WrestleMania spot. John Cena, the 16-time world champion, has returned to WWE with the goal of ending his career on a high note. He competed in the Royal Rumble, but didn't quite make it to the end. Now, he's in the Elimination Chamber, and fans are rooting for him to win. Imagine the emotion if Cena, after all these years, gets one last shot at the title against Cody Rhodes. The crowd would be electric, and it would be a perfect passing of the torch moment, cementing Rhodes as the new face of the company while giving Cena the send-off he deserves. So, if Seth Rollins steps aside, it's a win for the storyline and for the fans. Reason number 2, CM Punk is better suited to win. CM Punk has made it clear that he wants to headline WrestleMania and win another world championship. He's been building a feud with Cody Rhodes, and there's potential for a great storyline there, especially if Rhodes turns heel with The Rock's influence. A babyface Punk chasing a heel Rhodes would be a classic good versus evil tale that fans love. Their promos would be fiery, and their match would be epic. So, having Punk win the Elimination Chamber sets up that dream match, which could be the main event of WrestleMania. Reason number 3, Seth Rollins and CM Punk have unfinished business. Their rivalry is far from over, and fans are eager to see them settle their differences in the ring. If both are eliminated from the Elimination Chamber, it opens the door for them to have a match at WrestleMania, which would be a fantastic addition to the card. So, Seth not winning the chamber allows that storyline to continue and reach its climax at the biggest event of the year. Reason number 4, Roman Reigns is waiting in the wings. Roman Reigns, the undisputed tribal chief, is currently without a match for WrestleMania. After his run-in with Seth Rollins in the Royal Rumble, there's bad blood between them. If Seth doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, Reigns could make a statement by attacking him, setting up a high-stakes match between two of the company's top stars. This would be a match that fans have been waiting for, and it's a perfect way to utilize both wrestlers without interfering with the championship picture. In conclusion, while Seth Rollins is a worthy candidate to win the Elimination Chamber, there are several other storylines and opportunities that make it better for him to not win. Whether it's giving John Cena his swan song, setting up CM Punk for a championship run, continuing his feud with Punk, or starting a new rivalry with Roman Reigns, there are plenty of reasons to root against him in this match. So, what do you think? Should Seth Rollins win or lose the Elimination Chamber match? Let us know in the comments below. Tony Khan is trying to be Vince McMahon. A seasoned WWE figure recently likened Tony Khan to Vince McMahon after a revealing social media post from Kevin Kelly appeared to take aim at the AEW president. The veteran, Vince Russo, didn't stop at the comparison. He also broke down why Khan's approach is destined to falter. Kelly's tweet alluded to his time in AEW, where he claimed Khan fed him lines through a headset, a detail that stirred the pot given Kelly's earlier firing from the Jacksonville-based company and his subsequent lawsuit against it. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Outlaws, Russo dug into this, painting a picture of Khan trying to steer the commentary booth with the same iron grip Vince McMahon once wielded. He said, "Freaking Tony Khan is trying to be Vince McMahon in the headsets of the announcers. Vince McMahon was in everybody's headsets, okay? Vince McMahon had been doing it much longer than they had, okay? Vince McMahon was doing it longer than JR, doing it longer than Lawler and Michael Cole. Vince McMahon was doing it back in the 70s. Tony, Kevin Kelly has been doing it for literally 20 years, and now here you got a guy 5 years in gonna tell the announcer of 20 years, because that's exactly what Tony Khan is trying to do." Russo, never one to shy away from bold opinions, took his critique further when he turned his attention to AEW's booking habits. Speaking on Writing with Russo, he argued that the promotion fails to build enduring stars because they're too quick to shuffle talent in and out of the spotlight. He pinned the blame on a flavor of the month mindset, where wrestlers get a brief push before being relegated to the sidelines, leaving no room for lasting momentum. team. In his words, "There's a lot of flavor of the months in AEW, and I think that goes back to creative. I think it's flavor of the month because I've got an idea for you. We can do this now. Maybe we can get 4 weeks out of it. Maybe we can get 8 weeks out of it. But after that 8 weeks, I gotta put you back on the shelf now, and now it's the next. I've said it a million times, you're never going to get anybody over that way." Damian Priest is forming a huge new team before Elimination Chamber. Damian Priest is starting a big new team right before Elimination Chamber. He's joining up with R-Truth, a popular WWE star. Truth sent a message to show he's excited to team up. Priest was going to meet fans in Toronto before his big match at Elimination Chamber. When this got announced, R-Truth reached out. Truth used to be in Judgment Day with Priest. Things didn't work out with the group, but he and Priest always stayed friendly. They still get along whenever they run into each other. R-Truth messaged Priest about teaming up since they'd both be around. "Oh snap, my dog. You gon' be there too? Now that's what's up. We should form a team," he wrote. Priest said yes right away. He made a joke about seeing Truth in California, knowing Truth often mixes up locations. "Sure, see you in California." No one knows if this team will stick around for long. Right now, Priest is focused on a huge match at Elimination Chamber. It's a tough road to WrestleMania, but he's got a shot at the WWE title. He'll take on 5 other wrestlers in the chamber. If he wins, he'll face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, WWE's biggest event. A former WWE star begs Triple H to bring him back. Triple H has been bringing back several WWE stars who were released when Vince McMahon was in charge. One of those stars is Heath Slater, who was let go in 2020 during the pandemic. Slater, now 41, spent 14 years with WWE before that tough exit. He did return once for a special Raw match against his buddy Drew McIntyre, but only after McIntyre convinced him. Slater had actually said no to WWE twice before that. Recently, Slater finished up with Impact Wrestling and is now a free agent. He's been reaching out to Triple H, asking him to reunite the Nexus, a group he was part of back in 2010. Even though the Nexus didn't stick around long, it left a mark on WWE fans. In an interview with Monopoly Events, Slater opened up about how big the Nexus still feels to people. He said, "I didn't know the impact that it would have, because Nexus was only alive for like 9 months, maybe. But yeah, it wasn't even a year-long thing. But 15 years later, people still talk about the invasion, and we have like Nexus Day on social media, and stuff like that. Come on, Hunter, bring us back, baby." He's not just reminiscing, he's got ideas. Talking to Lucha Libre Online, Slater pitched a bold plan for the Nexus to make a comeback. He pointed to other famous groups that got second chances and said, "Imagine if, there's a damn NXT show, things are happening, and then we all come back and jump the guardrail. You know what I mean? Imagine if that happened. Hell, DX came back 6 times. NWO came back 3 times. Why can't Nexus come back once, There's more hope for this idea because Wade Barrett, the original leader of the Nexus, recently hinted he'd wrestle again if the storyline feels right. Could this mean a Nexus reunion in 2024? We'll have to wait and find out. WWE wanted to make a star the next Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan remains a towering figure in WWE and wrestling history, though his popularity isn't what it once was. Recently, a WWE Hall of Famer shed light on a related issue, focusing on how the company handled one of its biggest stars, John Cena. During an episode of The Wrestling Time Machine, WWE veteran Teddy Long spoke candidly with Mac Davis and Bill Apter about Cena, revealing that WWE aimed to shape him into the next Hulk Hogan. While Cena is often hailed as one of wrestling's all-time greats, Long doesn't agree. John Cena, great guy, nice guy, and in conversations. But in my opinion, I don't think he's the greatest of all time. Long, a former WWE general manager, elaborated on his view. He explained that after Hogan's departure, WWE needed a new cornerstone, a franchise player, and Cena was their pick. To make it happen, they aggressively promoted him, forcing him into the spotlight. They were trying to make him the next Hulk Hogan. That's my opinion, alright? Because Hogan was gone, and they needed another franchise player. I thought that Cena was picked for that position, so they just pushed him down people's throats. That's what I mean about I just don't think he's not the greatest of all time. They did that, he didn't. His work has certainly improved. He does great stuff in the ring, he does great interviews and all. That, but greatest of all time, I can't see it. Long credits WWE's heavy-handed push, not Cena's own doing, for his elevated status today. While he praises Cena's in-ring skills, interviews, and personality, he stops short of calling him the greatest. In Long's eyes, Cena's achievements owe more to the company's strategy than to unrivaled greatness, leaving him unconvinced of the all-time label, despite his respect for the star. Jey Uso handing over his WrestleMania 41 spot. WrestleMania is the ultimate proving ground where WWE superstars' legacies are forged or shattered, and this year, Jey Uso is poised to carve out his own chapter in history. Known as the Yeet Master, Jey has his eyes locked on a blockbuster showdown with Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the Showcase of the Immortals, but his dream could hit a wall following the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. The Rock has roared back into WWE, ready to flip the script. During the most recent SmackDown, the final boss laid down a tempting challenge to Cody Rhodes, urging him to sell his soul and step into the role of his corporate champion. Rhodes has until the Elimination Chamber to make his call. Should he turn it down, the Brahma Bull isn't one to back off. He'll muscle his way to the top, and that could spell trouble for Jey Uso. With his position on the TKO Group's board of directors, The Rock wields significant clout. He could strong-arm Jey into surrendering his WrestleMania spot, paving the way for the Great One to take center stage. If that happens, The Rock might line up a high-stakes main event against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, while slotting the Elimination Chamber winner to face Gunther instead. Frustrated by the shakeup, Jey Uso might even storm out of WWE in a fit of rage. But if the dust settles and Jey holds on to his chance, he could be the one to topple Gunther at WrestleMania. Despite dropping 3 straight matches to the ring general, including a tough loss at Saturday night's main event, Jey's got the credentials to turn it around. As a former Intercontinental Champion, he brings battle-tested experience, and his bond with the WWE Universe is undeniable. Some fans even compare his current wave of popularity to the feverish support Daniel Bryan once commanded. The thunderous cheers that greet Jey every time he hits the ring signal he's got what it takes to claim the world title. All eyes are glued to Cody Rhodes' showdown with The Rock at Elimination Chamber. If the chaos clears and Jey steps into the ring with Gunther at WrestleMania 41, there's a solid shot he emerges as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Should he pull it off, the fans' reaction to his reign could echo through WWE history. Roman Reigns receives a message from Paul Heyman amid his absence. Roman Reigns just got a message from Paul Heyman while he's been off WWE TV. The guy known as your tribal chief hasn't been seen since the Royal Rumble event, where Seth Rollins knocked him out cold with 2 stomps, one right on the steel steps. Earlier this year, the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion kicked things off strong by beating Solo Sikoa, taking back the Ula Fala, and reclaiming his spot as the undisputed tribal chief. He jumped into his first Royal Rumble match since 2020, coming in at number 16 and tossing out 4 guys before CM Punk sent him packing. Over on social media, Heyman got a kick out of seeing Mickey Mouse throw up the one. The wise man couldn't help but say even the famous mouse was giving Reigns a nod. Mickey Mouse acknowledges the tribal chief Roman Reigns, wrote Heyman. Kayla Braxton played a big role in the Bloodline drama. For years, she kept trying to get a word with Roman Reigns, but he'd brush her off every time, leaving Paul Heyman to talk for the head of the table. On the After We Wrap podcast, Braxton opened up about working with Reigns and Heyman. She didn't hold back on how she felt about the way the OTC and the Wiseman treated her on TV. Here's what she said. I mean, I was a part of the Bloodline story for the better part of 3 or 4 years. So, I had to deal with Roman Reigns all the time. Are you going to say he's so attractive? Oh, deal with it, girlfriend, because he just blows you off anytime you ask him an intelligent question, just like a man would. That's what I have to say about Roman Reigns, and his little sidekick Paul Heyman can get it too, okay? Love you, Paul. Reigns hasn't shown up since that Royal Rumble night. With WrestleMania 41 less than 2 months away, nobody's sure what's next for him or where he's headed for the big event. Mistakes Triple H shouldn't make with Roman Reigns upon his return. Roman Reigns is taking another break from WWE. He disappeared from TV after the Royal Rumble 2025, where Seth Rollins caught him off guard with a curb stomp. A lot of folks thought Reigns would win and headline WrestleMania again, so his elimination threw everyone for a loop. Word is, he's sidelined for a reason, and though we don't know exactly what's wrong, he will be live on SmackDown from Bologna, Italy, on Friday, March 21st, and London, England on Friday, March 28th. With Cody's star power dipping a bit, the Triple H crew needs to play it smart with Reigns this time. He's got to step up and carry the load for the company. For the last few months, Roman Reigns has been a good guy in WWE. After almost 4 years as a bad guy, the big dog flipped the switch at SummerSlam last year and has stayed a fan favorite since. But WWE can't mess this up by trying to make him both a hero and a villain at the same time. Turning him into a tweener, someone stuck in the middle, won't work. Sure, stars like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and CM Punk pulled it off, but it's not Reigns' style. He'd do better coming back as a straight-up good guy, picking up his fights with Seth Rollins and Punk right where he left off. There's talk that Roman Reigns might land in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. He could set it up by showing up at the Elimination Chamber, jumping Rollins and Punk, and costing them their shots. It'd be a perfect way to pay them back for kicking him out of the Royal Rumble. But here's the thing, WWE can't let him lose at WrestleMania. If he takes a fall, It'll tank his rep with the fans. Reigns is one of the top good guys right now, and WWE needs those heroes to win big and move merchandise. A loss at WrestleMania 41 would hurt both the OTC and the company's bottom line. Roman Reigns and his cousin Solo Sikoa have already gone at it enough, and WWE shouldn't drag them back into the ring together. From SummerSlam 2024 to their Tribal Combat match on January 6, 2025, Reigns and Solo battled for nearly 6 months straight. That chapter's closed now. Reigns walked away with the Ula Fala after beating the Street Champ in their last showdown. Plus, Solo's got a hot storyline brewing with Jacob Fatu, and fans are way more excited to see where that goes than to watch Reigns come in and stomp Solo again. Throwing Roman and Solo into another round would feel stale, and WWE should steer clear of forcing it. Paul Heyman breaks up with Roman Reigns. Word's buzzing that Roman Reigns might crash the men's Elimination Chamber match to kick off his next big feud for WrestleMania 41. Rumors are flying that he's lined up to take on Seth Rollins and CM Punk in a triple threat match at the grandest stage of them all. If the Tribal Chief swoops in and ruins Rollins and Punk's shot at WrestleMania, CM Punk might lean on his old connection with Paul Heyman to push him to ditch Reigns for good. Heyman's been Roman's right-hand man, his special counsel, for nearly 5 years now, but his past with Punk runs deep. At the Royal Rumble, CM Punk tossed both Reigns and Rollins out of the match, only to get dumped later by Logan Paul. After that, Rollins unleashed 2 brutal stomps on Reigns, one right on the steel steps, and then got into a scuffle with Punk until refs broke it up. Reigns hasn't shown his face on WWE TV since that night, while Punk and Rollins each won their Chamber qualifying matches to lock in their spots at Elimination Chamber. Now, the undisputed Tribal Chief could storm back at the big event and make sure Rollins and Punk don't walk out with a win. That could spark a huge showdown between the three heading into WrestleMania. But here's where it gets juicy. Punk might call in a favor Heyman owes him, twisting his arm to cut ties with Reigns after he sabotages Punk's Elimination Chamber chance. So far, it doesn't look like Reigns is in the running for the undisputed WWE Championship match, but he could still headline WrestleMania. Talk is he's set to clash with Seth Rollins and CM Punk in that triple threat match at the grandest stage of them all. Nothing's locked in yet, but folks are guessing it might close out night one. Zero News, a source that often spills backstage scoop, even hinted on X that this triple threat could be the main event for night one.